Next, one of the most important people in all of this. I know you're all important, but Chol is very important to me. Chol Dhoor, the president of the Sudanese Association.
How is the food? Thank you, everyone. My name is Chol Dhoor. I have two fancy titles. One is I am the executive director of the Sudanese Foundation of Vermont, and I'm also the president of the Sudanese community here in the state. Those two titles are special to me, and your attendance tonight make those titles even more special. Before I begin, this building where you are in today is the home of the Cathedral Church of St. Paul. It's my church, it's my family, and for the first time I came here, I said, this is where I belong. When you get in through that door, you feel welcome. You feel the love. And everybody in this room right now, and everybody that worship here is special. And before I say anything, I'd like to say I am very proud to see all of you here today. It's good to see amazing friends, my longtime friend, and that is really, really special to me. This church is very active in many ways. One, in my community, and two, beyond the borders of this nation. This year, this church funded a project in South Sudan. And it's not just in South Sudan, but in Madagascar, in South America, right here at home. They're involved in everything that is social issues, everything that has a social justice dimension to it. And that aspect of that community engagement is why I'm special to be a member of this church. Now, I have so many thank yous to mention. First, this is our second year that we're doing the Sudanese fundraiser. And it started from what I like to call a community outreach. So I reached out to Jean Finan, who's not here today. Then we started a committee that engaged and put a program together with the help of so many people who are here and those people and many others who are not here. Tim Parker is right here. He's a champion of this project that brought all of us here today. Stan Baker is very active in this church and is also a champion of this community project. Before I go further, I'm thankful to the Champlain College students. They have been working with me for months, not weeks, not hours, but for months on a special project for not only in our community, but for anybody who will have access to internet and who is thinking about applying for a job. So I'm gonna ask all the Champlain College students to join me right here in the state. That's the only way. That's the only way I can thank you now. So please come on up. Please come on up. On Thursday, after many months, many weeks, many hours, this student, they work on a special project, a career development project, and the main goal of that project was to build resumes, cover letters, and put together tips on how to do interview, how to ask for promotion, how to build your LinkedIn profile. And this team behind me, they built a website to host that project. So anybody who's a new American, who is applying for a job or looking for tips on how to get a job or how to do interview, the work they did should be where you should go. Over the weeks, I have emailed 10 of these guys. I have talked to them. Sometimes it takes me a long time to get back to them, and I'm freaking out. And they send me an email and they say, it's completely fine. That's our part of the project. When something comes up, it's a problem, and when we solve it, that's the project. And that made my life easier. But this group are working under the guidance of one of my good friends, Professor Tom Myers. Tom, please come on up. Please, thank you. Professor Rick Land. I'm proud to call Professor Tom Myers one of our outstanding board members of the Sudanese Foundation. It's the person that I talked to, and from him, we put some ideas together, and from him, we met Professor Rick Land. Professor Rick Land brought the student on board, and here we are. And my message to this student is that what you have learned, you are not going to learn it from somewhere else. I have never taken a project management class in my school, but some of you are going to be graduating in a week. Some of you have 2 more years to go. But this class you've taken is going to help you in extraordinary ways. And I think you guys are lucky to have Professor Rick Land. From Morgan to Sean, there's so many Seans I'm aware, to Adam, to all of you, I cannot mention all of you. I'm proud of you. Please continue to be engaged in the community. Thank you. Appreciate it. To members of the Sudanese community, if you need handout, we got a ton of handout in the back. Please stop by to say thank you to the Champlain College students. Tim, I'm so proud of the work that we've done over the years, and to you, Stan. And we have amazing friends in this room who put their heart into this community project. I cannot think of a better way to be engaged in the community than what we are doing now. And that is why I'm proud to be part of this community, and I'm proud to work with all of you. The story of the Sudanese community is very unique. 19 years ago, a group of young men came to this after going through so many events in their life, from Ethiopia, from Sudan to Ethiopia, then from Ethiopia to Kenya, and from Kenya to where we are today. I said the story of my community is unique and I'm sure you will agree with me. The people in this room who have children running around today, here in this room, they came as young men who know nobody but themselves. And when they arrive here, so many people who are here in this room today and who are not here, welcome them. Welcome them in their houses and host them for 2 weeks. Strange person from a refugee camp for many years, welcome him to your house and spend 2 weeks. And that relationship has not ended beyond 2 weeks. That relationship has remained ever since. And tonight, I am proud to see our friends, some of the host families. If you have ever hosted anybody, can you please stand? Any refugee, anybody that came from another place, if you're in this room, please stand. When they came, the church stepped in, welcomed them to the church. They tell their stories, and from the stories that they share, those stories from the church to our state house, from our state house to American Congress, and many years later, we have an independent Republic of South Sudan. And it started from the church. That's a powerful story. Now, coming to the people who are running in this room right now, that's why we're here. Our state has become so expensive. It's hard to afford living. And every single person in this room is working more than 2 jobs. If you look around in this room, you're not seeing so many South Sudanese. Why? Because someone is working more than 2 jobs. And more than those 2 jobs, someone has to do Uber. That life has become. So when I became a community leader, I said, one of the most important things we can work on is to work with kids, to identify what kind of issues affect children. And let us reach out to any friend to friends of children and see what we can do. So now we have summer camp. Last year, because of this program, we sent 15 kids to summer camp, full-time, completely paid for, and that is an investment. That is an investment. This year, we're sending 14 kids to summer camp, and that too is an investment. And it's possible because of all of you. And it's possible because of the parent that is in this room who realize they have to invest in their kid. Over the last few weeks, the reason why I came here was because of the war in Sudan. And as many of you heard, for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, many millions of people stood up against their government for the first time. When people do that, they regain their freedom. They regain their government. They gain their values. And as I'm speaking to you now, the president, who is none other than President Omar Bashir, is gone and he's in jail. That's a victory. It's a victory for freedom. and that's a better story to tell. I've talked too much, but I'd like to take a moment to say that last year I had an outstanding time with Rock Point director, who is not here today, but I want to acknowledge the outstanding work Sherry Osborne did at Rock Point. When I say she did an outstanding job, if you look at our email thread from last year, you can tell that what I meant is real. I'm proud to acknowledge that we have a new director, Julie, who stepped up, and she's going to work with us, and we are so lucky and proud to welcome you. We're going to be working with you, Julie. I've taken a lot of time, but I want to say that as a community leader, I'm extending my gratitude to all of you, and the amazing work we've done today, moving forward, is going to continue. Because of you, it's going to continue, and I think it's the right thing to do. Finally, the food we have on the table was made and donated by volunteers who love this program, but it was also donated by Champlain College students. The food we have on the table also came from the Sudanese women. Some of them worked last night and they did not sleep. And I want to thank you for doing this, not only for today, but every year for everything that we do. I want you to know that. I want you to know that I will never forget about the work you do every single day, not only for taking care of our children, but for standing up and being able to do this on behalf of our community.